Morning, welcome back to the channel. Just thought I'd do a quick video. I fitting a gas bottle holder, an external gas bottle holder. So I've had my on one of these for a little while. I've had a recently, I've got a 2-year-old, so I'm trying to make camping a little bit more bearable with food prep and stuff like that. Traditionally I use the Coleman petrol stove. With the little one needing more efficient feed times, I wanted something a little bit more reliable. So in the summer last year I bought a Kadak. If you don't know, that's a barbecue, and it runs on either butane or propane. In doing so I decided that, you know, I'll properly mount the gas bowl. So I had a look online and I really like the idea of the front runner one, but it's about 250 quid. Comes on a proper mount for the Land Rover, etc. But then I went on eBay and found one for 50 quid, or 60 quid I think it was delivered. But it's a roof rack model. So I thought, why not do a bit of fabrication so it can bolt to the back part of the Land Rover, similar to the brand specific model. So anyway, I've bought some hardware from the local B&Q, which I'll show you shortly. And I've been just cutting little bits up and making a bracket system. So I'll just pop the camera around and show you what I've been up to. So this is just literally 20mm by 20mm angle line. I think it's about 8-9 quid a length. And then I've just bought some 20mm 25mm by 4mm flat plate, so that should be plenty sturdy enough. So I've cut 3 sections of this down, and what the idea is to have one that sits in the rain gutter like so. So one that sits in the rain gutter like so, one that goes underneath and clamps up to the gutter with some pins, and then one that goes in this bottom rail. So I filmed a couple of minutes ago me just drilling some holes. I know it doesn't look level, but they're where they need to be. And this is just some clearance holes for the bottom bracket, and then I've got the 2 strips that I'll weld in, and then I'll weld a mount for the actual gas bottle holder. So I'm just going to bolt these in place. I'll quickly assemble it dry so I can mark it all up and you can have a better look. So just drilled these 2 test holes. I'm going to drill them larger now and fit some roof nuts. So this will be the mount that I need to fabricate for. I'm unsure whether I'll use these 2 brackets or whether I'll go for the full hog and go for the 4 bolts, but I'll show you quickly where I'm up to. So I'm just holding that in place, but there's a return that will sit in the top gully, and then these will tuck like that. I'll just tack them on with a bit of weld, and then the idea is across the middle where the two plates come down, I'll have a mount in the middle between the 2. So I'm just going to go and mark these up now. As you can see, they're all cut to size. Mark them up so I know where they are when I come to weld them, and then I'll start looking at the middle section. What I'm going to do is, I've got some offcuts of the plates just there, so I'm going to cut 2 of those, because I've got some spare, to 220mm, 210mm, and then I'm going to drill some holes to suit. And then what I shall do is I'll drill where they need to be, mark them up, and I'll put some riv nuts in those bits, and then I'll weld those 2 to the 2 uprights. So I'm just going to cut these down. So That's the last of the two end sections cut. So I'll drill these, put them on there, mark them up, and then drill and bolt them, so at least I know where they need to be. So that's the first hole drilled, brackets in place. So I'll leave that now. I've just nipped it up, and then I'll send the drill through from this side to pick up the other hole. But I won't do that on camera. I'll bring you back shortly when it's done. So I'll give you an idea of fitment. So what I shall do now, where these pass the two uprights, I'll mark them. I might even drill them and pin them so I can weld through. So I'll just pop that off, and I'll put it on the other section for the bottom and just transfer the holes through. That's my two sets of holes drilled. So I will position them. I'll position the first one on the brackets where I want them to be, mark the two brackets, and then I'm going to take them off for welding. I've got to have a quick break once this is marked up, and then I'll bring you back when it comes to the tacking everything together. You join me just about to start welding these up. I've very loosely tacked it in position. So that's the top ledge, that's the bottom edge you saw me drill the holes in earlier. Very loosely tacked into position. So I'm just going to put a couple more tacks on this and then get the bottom bracket in place. So hopefully this won't damage this camera. So here goes. It's the first one in place. You have to excuse the Land Rover bulkhead in the background. I have got plans to change the bulkhead on the Land Rover when I get round to it. Sharp that was. Well, I can see from the off I've got pretty much good penetration throughout. Now it's a case of bolt the other bracket to it, push it in place and then tack it. So So I'm just going to get set up for that. Just clamp that up quickly. I'm going to move this and watch it all move out of the way. Just going to put a quick tack on there and a tack on there, pull it off, weld it up. Safety squints. There we go, tacked in place, pull it off, weld it up. Yeah. Right, I think that's us. No, it's not. So the last thing I've got to do is, I don't know if I mentioned it on the video earlier, I want to put a closure plate for where it goes around the gutter, so I can put some pins in to clamp on the gutter. So I'm going to drill these and tap these while that's cooling off. Then I'm going to pop them in place and weld it up. So after a short interlude, couldn't find a drill bit. I've just drilled some 5mm holes in the last retaining piece of angle iron. It's going to sit underneath the guttering. Just tapping some 6mm holes through so I can put some 6mm pins in to just clamp it against the guttering. That's the first one done. Should really use cutting oil. I've got some somewhere, but I'm not sure where it is. So yeah, once this section's done, I'll weld this in place and it can be bolted up. I don't profess to be a fabricator, as I always say. I work in an office. Although that being said, I did do an apprenticeship in engineering, and it's all gone out the window since. I have to excuse the state of this garage. That there is an American spec Rover V8 that I may need to pinch the front cover off, because that has a different serpentine system, which is what I'm going to need if I want to put aircon in, which was the plan with the Puma Dash eventually. What I've basically done is just tapped out those holes so that once it's in position I can put that will go on the bracket. So your bracket sits up here, and then the 6mm holes will just basically pinch it against the guttering. So right, now to get it back in, try not to burn myself, and tack it in place, then weld it up. Right, I'll take you outside and show you it done. Right, as always, I'll show you the wells before I clean them. To be honest, I'm not going to clean much of these, they're all in the back. That one on the end's a bit gobbed up, but there you go. I don't profess to be a welder, but plenty of strength. You can see where it's come through the back. So there we go. So get it cleaned up and I'll bring you back. Here's a little tip for you. If you're like me and you constantly lose the angle grinder spanner, get yourself a little set of circlip pliers that are angled. Right, I'll just buzz this up quickly. So there we go, a few hours work, and we've got a bracket. So off camera I'll degrease all this because it is full of the grease from where it was in storage, and then I'll give it a rattle can black. I'll bring you back after that shortly. In place, bolted in. I don't know whether you can see that. Yep. Painted up, bolted in. Now to bolt the front runner to it. There we go, all fitted, ready for the gas bottle to go on. So there we go. Can't open the door fully because I'm very close. I parked the truck, but you can see from the height it will miss nicely. There we go. A little bit of deflection, that's just in these bits here, but it's looped on at the top. It's secured by pins, and it's pinned into the truck itself at the bottom, and those are about 30mm long, so I can't see those coming out. And like I said, it hooks over on that section. There we go, job done. So thanks for watching. Thought I'd do a couple of little videos. I have got some more works planned, but I'll just have to get on some as and when. I'm sure you guys can appreciate I've got a full-time job and a family and all that lot. So anyway, thanks for watching and take care. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching, really appreciate it. Cheers.